And that's the continuous journey, right? We all always want more, especially as artists and kind of multi-passionates. Like I feel like my, at least my experience of multi-passionates is like that multi-passionates are also incredibly creative beings. Just big creators, a lot of times visionaries and innovators. Yeah. And with all of those groups of people, there is this thing where it's like you get to one place, and the second you do, what do you see? More. You see the possibility for more. That's what makes you a creator, a visionary, and innovative. That's what it is. And what's amazing about that is that you can continue on a path. You keep seeing these paths you can move forward on. What sometimes we need help with is to go, okay, also, where were you in comparison to where you are now, so that gap between where you are and what you now see is not frustrating.
Yes.
And okay, sometimes we need space. We need people to hold space, someone to hold space for us as we go from, okay, here's where I am now, to here is my vision. Because sometimes it's the vision and like the how is so not there.
Yeah. But the term multi-passionate,
yeah,
I feel like you may be one of the only people that I know who uses that term. But when I hear it, I'm like, yeah, that's me. And that's, I think, part of why we're soul sisters, because we operate much in the same way. You know, I do this, I do that. I'm an artist, I'm a healer. And they all go together. And it's perfectly fine. And you need like-minded people who are on that same path in a society that says, no, you should only be doing one thing. And you need to just be really good at that one thing. And people will only respect you if you do that one thing.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely not true.
Right.
And what I learned from you is that all of the passions that I have feed each other. And they may not be going, you know, on the power burner all at the same time. I think we'll get into this, but that's one of the visuals that really stuck with me. Visual of the stove, and you have different things cooking, you know, different pots going, but the power burner's up on one thing, and then you put something on the simmer, and that's okay. It's still there. Yes. And you get to it in divine time.
Yes, 100%. I love that you got that. I love that you got that. That's like I think that's been one of the biggest lessons in my life and my journey as a multi-passionate, and like learning how to navigate that. And it's absolutely one of the things that I love to teach and to help people to start to see and discover. Because sometimes, like, again, it's that thing that's like, okay, intellectually, that's a great idea. Okay, but like, how does my body know that? And with that one, some of it is just experimenting and starting to just see that it works. I remember you came, I think it was at the first Dream Create Connect workshop, and one of the things, I asked some question, who knows what it was, and one of the things you shared was that it was like you felt like you were supposed to help people in some way, but you really did not have any idea of like what that looked like. It was like this little tiny seed that you had discovered was in your heart. That was like this little tiny, like it seemed at the time like a whisper almost, that was just gently like, hey, Shereen. That was like, and you were like, I feel like I'm supposed to heal people or help people in some way. And it was just tiny seed.
Rachel, you see, I knew you were going to say something that was just going to make me, you remember that. I didn't remember that.
Oh, absolutely. I remember that very clearly. Very clearly.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And so I would, just to give some context, like, okay, so that's what was, and kind of, can you talk a little bit about what shifted since then, right? So you'd moved here, you were sort of feeling alone, you were sort of, I think it felt like you were trying to like find your bearings a little bit, like you had gotten the courage to take this leap that you knew your intuition was telling you to take, but then it was sort of like, oh, okay, whoa, now what? Oh my God, like, how do I sustain this? Or, oh my God, and like, how do I actually allow myself to continue living in the way that I know that I'm supposed to, but also like feel good while I do it?
Ooh.
Right? Like, let go of the angst around it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear some about that, and some about, like, I don't know, a little bit about that seed and what happened with that.
Yeah. So when I look back at that time, 2017, it was all about following my intuition and taking action. And then a lot of the work that we did was rooted in self-love. So
Yes.
that first year was like, oh, I thought I loved myself, but clearly there's still a lot of work to do here.
Yeah.
And I, I had to learn how to fall in love with myself. And then 2018 was all about trusting myself. Like all of the things that I've learned, like, okay, I know what to do. Shereen knows what to do. Like, my way is the best way.
Yes.
Right? Like my unique path
Yep.
was given to me for a reason.
Yep.
And so maybe that was part of the seed that, like, you're different. You have all of these passions, and you're on a journey for this very reason, because you are going to inspire other people to be able to do the same thing, to be able to speak their truth, to be, ooh, and that came up in our sessions too. That whole speak your truth, stand your ground, know that you're enough. It's like the root of this healing work that I'm sharing with others now. And being able to free yourself and use your voice, trust yourself, and follow the path that you're divinely being given. So as I've been doing that work on myself, I share it with other people.
Right.
And and as I said, I came here to do TV and film, but at the same time, I'm also an educator, doing dialect coaching and acting coaching. And as I'm doing all of this work on myself, I'm sharing it with other people, and I'm starting to see how it's transforming them. And I'm like, yeah, the dialect stuff is great, the acting technique is great, but ooh, transformation that happens when people really start to connect to their why.
Yes.
What I fell in love with.
How has this work that we've done contributed to or nurtured or expanded your life or work as an artist, creative person?
Just continuing to do that spiritual work and healing, and learning how to trust myself and love myself and put myself first and align. that was like the third stage: loving myself, trusting myself, and then aligning, and then taking action has been so crucial to all of my work. So now going into an audition room, I can just show up as myself. Like, I'm not, you know, whatever happens in that room, I don't take it personally. It's like, if it's for me, it's for me. And I know why I'm showing up to do the work in the first place. Yeah. So, and that's all that matters. I'm no longer, going out for a role because I think that that's what will make me successful, and that will ultimately be what makes me happy. It's like, it's about so much more than that for me now. So it's the healing work first, and then like everything else comes after that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And like when you were saying that, what I heard is like, because you're already happy, because I'm already happy. I don't think that is the thing that's going to come into my life, make me successful, fulfilled, and happy because I already feel successful, fulfilled, and happy in the way that I'm living my daily life.
That's it.
It's actually very simple. And then all the rest is bonus, right? I would love to hear from you, just if there's anything else that you are feeling like you would like to share that's just sort of on your mind. There doesn't have to be, but in terms of how just your journey and what has shifted, or how this has benefited you, just if anything's coming up.
Yeah, reflecting on that, it's the alignment. When I look back in my journals, that is what is highlighted for me. Moving from an aligned place and then taking action is what I will always carry with me. Align and allow.
Mm-hmm.
And that it can be easy. It's like we call it work, but we're not.
It's not. And it can be fun. I think like it can be fun. I want it to be fun. And it really is. It's exciting. It's fun.
And I look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved getting my personalized messages from the universe through. I mean, you're just so magical. Rachel is magical, y'all. Okay. And that's why I will continue to work with you. I don't care how many clients of my own I have. We all need that support. Every healer, every coach, every teacher, you have to have your own healing practice for yourself.
100%. I have coaches, I have healers, like, we all need them. 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's absolutely why I will continue the work and why I will continue working with you, because, I see your journey and I see how it's worked in your own life. And you're genuine. I know you really care about this work, and you're just a joy. And I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too so very much.
Everyone should work with you. Yeah, you've been a benefit to my life, and I share you with my sisters. It was absolutely just pure, genuine, unconditional love.
And I think that's so much of what allows us to heal. And that's why, as you were talking about how the first thing was really acceptance. And sometimes it's helpful to have someone else, if we're not able to fully accept ourselves where we are, to have someone else that will embrace us and accept us exactly where we are and exactly as we are.
Yes.
And the more we see that, the more we know it's possible and that we're lovable and that we're enough, and absolutely my goal is for you to know that for yourself. But sometimes you need a hand or a guide or a bridge.
Yes, to hold that space for you.
And we all need it sometimes. What is one thing that you now know to be true?
Oh my God. I'm perfect as I am. I'm perfect as I am. I am complete. And I don't need anybody to tell me that.
Yes!
I don't need anyone's approval.
Yes! Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. I'll tell you until you don't need me to tell you anymore.
That's it. That's it. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I do. I know that.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do. Yep. That's one of those knowings that has gone from inside of your intellect to down into your body and down into the core of your being. And it is showing itself in your action, in your being, and in your life.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh. I needed to say that out loud.
Yeah, you did.